It's not easy to have confidence to share what you create. It's like sharing your souls with a bunch of strangers. Honestly, it's exactly like that. Creation is hard enough on its own, but it became even harder when I felt like something or someone was stopping me. Let's call him Gerald. Sometimes he'll stop me from just picking up a pencil to create a very quick sketch, or maybe preventing me from writing a YouTube script, or coming in the distracting form of a Netflix series. So let's go back in time. When I was a little girl, I would fill up countless notebooks with just sketches. But I would start sketching something and I would draw one line and be like, that's not the best line, so I'm just gonna keep on going. So eventually I would fill up notebooks of occasional finished sketches, but it would basically just be like one line. And that was the first sign that Gerald was present in my life. When I was about 13, I took up some drawing lessons and I just went to town with my creativity. I remember the first lesson that me and my art teacher had, we were drawing a bunch of bananas. And at that point, I didn't even think about, this may not be good enough. Oh, I don't know, the teacher's probably gonna be better than me. Why should I even try? It was more so I just saw and I was like, okay, cool, let's do this for the next hour. When I went to high school, I was introduced to a group of artistic people, I would say. I was no longer the one person in each elementary school classroom that was artistic and loved doodling. But with that came some doubt because I didn't want to be the worst artistic person in my high school group. I wanted to at least be, middling or be able to hold my own. So I needed someone to tell me the truth. I would consult Gerald and he would be like, well, Tabitha, I didn't know a Tabitha, but Tabitha drew the drawing like this and she won first place. What is she doing that you're not doing? Which honestly is a harmless question, and if you want to get better at a skill, a good idea would be to look at what other people are doing and be like, what can I glean from this? But the questions started turning into, how about you become her? Just, forfeit what you're good at. Just try to become exactly what she's good at. Just trying to have what she had. And I thought the only way that I could get that would be to transform my life into a similar life that she led, rather than just glean, small skills that she had that really could have transformed my own talents. And Gerald would say things to me like, are you sure you want to submit that? Couldn't it be better? Don't you want to be like Tabitha? When I got into college, I forgot about art for a while. Now there was a dedicated major, a dedicated bunch of people that were very talented, practiced drawing very often, and knew the fundamentals of all artistic things. And I was kind of self-taught, to be honest. I did take drawing lessons for a short time, but past that, I didn't really have a bunch of technical training. And how could I possibly sketch something that would hold up around such amazing, talented people? When I graduated, it got worse because it was no longer a department or a bunch of majors, a bunch of talented art majors. It was a bunch of talented artists all over the world. So like a tiny school within a tiny state versus the entire universe. Coincidentally, this is when I started working out. Working out was really difficult for me at first. I had really bad form. My muscles were shaking all the time. I really didn't want to. I didn't see a point in working out. I never felt toned or like I had any muscle whatsoever. But the instructor would always say, if you can't do it this way, feel free to modify so you can do something that actually works for your body. This introduced a couple of things to me. Number one, the instructor was telling me to listen to my own body and to prioritize things that would work for me, to accept my individuality and my uniqueness, and to use it to my best advantage. So I committed to working out 3 times a week, 20 minutes each time. And this is when I started to do something that was really unique, something that I'd never really done before. I started to tailor my goals to what is actually achievable. So instead of doing intense CrossFit cardio, I did cardio for women over 50. I did low impact cardio. And by setting that very achievable goal for myself, I've actually been able to work out at an average of 30 minutes a day with Sunday off. And weirdly enough, this very general health change that like pretty much all doctors recommend completely changed my relationship with Gerald. I used to see him as this really pompous, like food critic, but now he's more like a friend. Now I see him gently asking me to complete tasks, not because I should do it, but because I feel so much better when I do. Even if something goes wrong, even if I audition for something and I fail, technically, or I don't get the job, well, I tried and I'm growing. And it also brought me to the question, wouldn't life be so boring if we didn't have to work at anything? I think the reason that, life is partially so fulfilling for me now is because I'm setting achievable goals and I'm accomplishing them one by one. And by doing that, I'm slowly building up progress into bigger goals. And I think if I keep on doing this throughout the years, those accomplishments will snowball and I'll be able to pick up greater momentum. So Gerald isn't a monster that exists. My inner critic is someone that I'm friends with, and he's actually a crucial part of learning. And I'm so thankful that I have him in my life because he's helping me become better at what I do.